present The Vale of Darkness, a story of violence and intrigue by Ron Evans. Excuse me, Major.
Ah, Saunders, you have news.
Just come down from the hill. We got through to intelligence. I gave our coordinates, and they say proceed due west to Rajek Pass and await guides.
Rajek Pass? I never heard of it.
Well, I checked up, about 90 miles from here. It's rough going, right into the Montenegro mountains.
We can't cross mountains. Did you tell them that we had a large number of women and children with us?
The figures you gave me, Major. 122 men of various nationalities, 53 women, and 18 children under 10.
And they want me to march through the mountains?
The Germans have moved in 3 divisions of Waffen-SS to deal with the Yugoslav partisan groups. If we went north, we'd risk walking into one of them.
Yeah, I don't relish that thought, Saunders. Very well, Montenegro it is.
They call it the land of the Black Mountain.
Yes, Saunders. Very ominous.
Lieutenant Sale. Come in, take a seat.
Thank you, sir.
Been having a bit of a holiday, haven't you? Well, I'm afraid it's at an end.
Well, I was getting bored, sir.
This afternoon, you're off to Yugoslavia with 2 guides. There's a large group struggling to make it their way to the coast. And, well, to be frank, our intelligence boys have made a botch of it.
I see.
Told them to make for Rajek Pass. Damn stupid idea. There's no way through from the pass. It's a dead end.
Well, can't the order be countermanded, sir?
Problem is, Sale, we seem to have lost contact. They could have run into trouble. A lot of military activity around there at the moment. The Russians are over the border already, and the German High Command is getting a bit panicky. What with being squeezed between them and the partisan groups. Anyway, back to business. This group you're to meet is being led by one of our people, Major Clifford Ramsden, a Royal Artilleryman.
I see.
He escaped from the Linovich camp with 50-odd other prisoners of war, Russians, Poles, Americans, French, a bit of everything. Since heading west, they have picked up more ex-prisoners, plus a large batch of women from an internment camp.
Are they armed?
Yes, they picked up weapons on the way. I think they can generally look after themselves. Unless, of course, they run into one of these SS groups. Ramsden did report a spot of bother with some of the partisan groups he's met. Not a very helpful lot. And the civilians are reluctant to give assistance for fear of German reprisals. The whole picture there is most confusing, as you'll find out for yourself, my boy. Your file says you were a student of the Slavic and Croat languages.
Yes, sir. I spent a lot of time there before the war.
Good. Good. Now then, this is what I've done. Have a look at this map. In the early hours of tomorrow morning, you and your guides will be landing here, just south of this small fishing village. You'll find few Germans in this area, and from there you'll head inland to here. An old chap called Ubak will take care of you and put you on the right road to join up with Major Ramsden. It's all quite simple, and you'll have plenty of time to study it before you leave.
Damn it all, Saunders. It's not the damage that bothers me. It's the fact that they know we're here.
I think the Germans have known about us all along, sir. We just didn't constitute a threat to them.
So why the hell are their planes strafing us now?
Oh, search me, Major. Maybe they know now that we're well armed and growing in strength. Again, they could have taken us for a partisan group.
Yes, there's that. Has Harrison managed to make that infernal radio work yet?
No, not a peep out of it. He reckons one of the valves is gone. I guess we'll just have to keep on marching to Rajek Pass and hope for the best.
Yes, at 10 miles a day.
Lieutenant Weser.
Ja, Herr Major.
I have received orders.
We're about to become sheep herders, Weser. There's a bitter war going on, and I'm to herd sheep.
Sheep? You mean real sheep?
A large group of escaped prisoners.
How large?
Reports estimated at about 200 strong.
What would be the point of recapturing them? The way things are, they would be sent to a camp and escape again. Discipline is so lax among their men that their camp commanders are releasing prisoners by the score.
Yes, we know it. And now Berlin knows it. The camps are being restaffed by Waffen-SS. There are to be no more escapes. Well, at least until the Russians come and release them.
And put us inside.
If we're lucky. Too often it's the nearest lamppost for SS officers. Anyhow, this group of escapees is heading due west. Why, I don't know. There's only the Rajek Pass there. Forest, high mountains.
And we have to round them up and hand them over?
Yes, that is exactly what we have to do.
Hello, you must be my guides.
I am Joseph, and this is Maria.
Hello, Lieutenant.
My, what's a pretty girl like you doing in a nasty army base like this,
I have been in many worse places.
I'm sorry, that was intended to be a joke.
Maria escaped from a concentration camp during an Allied air raid.
Why were you in the camp?
I was with a partisan group. The Germans surprised us, and I was captured.
You were lucky to get out. Well, I want you to tell me the kind of country we have to cross.
All we have been told is to take you to the eastern entrance of Rajek Pass.
That'll do for a start. What can we expect?
There is dense forest before reaching the pass. It changes to scrub and bare rock where the pass narrows at its western point.
And there's no way to cross westwards and come down onto the coastal plain?
It is possible, yes, for a mountaineer.
Very few people live in the area. I doubt if even the Germans have been into Rajek Pass.
Are we likely to encounter any partisan groups?
Several. The two main ones will be those led by Popchek and Karescu.
And now for the inevitable question. What are their politics?
Popchek and Karescu are rivals. Deadly rivals. Karescu is a monarchist and Popchek is red. They spend much more time fighting each other than the Germans.
Yes, that seems to be the fashion. You say we'll be likely to meet up with them?
If we are lucky, no.
I see. They won't be inclined to help us on our way?
With the bullet at the base of our skulls. Pevchek is an ex-police officer. He's intelligent, his cunning is ruthless. He's a die-hard communist with a pathological hatred of anyone who does not share his views.
And the other fellow, Karescu?
Even before the war, he was an enemy of Pavchek. Karescu was a bandit, an outlaw who lived in the mountains, a man who stole and cut throats for a living. Now he commands 300 partisans and rules like an ancient despot.
Not a pretty prospect either way. Well, after meeting my group at the entrance of Rajek Pass, we'll turn northeast and make for the coast just north of Dubrovnik.
It is a long way around.
But the nearest route to the coast is through forest and over hills. What will happen when we reach this place?
We'll be met by a small flotilla of boats that will bring us across to Italy.
To this camp? Here?
Possibly. Why? Does it matter?
No. No, not really.
She has been seeing a man, a soldier.
Yes, I see. Well, I should think we'll all be brought back here for debriefing. Well, that seems to be it. We'll be leaving in a couple of hours. We'll see you then.
Well, what do you think of him, Joseph?
Reliable, speaks our language well, looks like a strong man in a fight.
He is also very handsome.
Yes, I was expecting to hear you say that.
I say, Saunders, what are you doing with that Russian chap in tow?
Dimitri's in command of our rear guard, sir. Tell the Major what you told me, Dimitri.
We are being followed.
By whom?
Germans?
I see, keeping an eye on us, are they? I was rather expecting it.
Not just ordinary German soldiers. They wear the uniforms of the Waffen-SS.
How many?
About 50 men, all on foot. They're either the advance guard or been sent to shadow us.
Well, either way, it spells trouble, sir. They don't send out their crack troops just to go pussyfooting around the countryside. Well, to keep tabs on escaped prisoners. My guess is they've got all their pals right behind them.
All right. Let's have a little fun and ambush the blighters. We need more arms and ammunition anyway. Sanders, you get Gregson to head the column while we stay here and arrange the party. Sir. Dmitri, I want you to collect your Russian chaps and come with me. Oh, yes, I think the Polish fellows would also like to have a crack at them.
A party, he calls it. You'd think the guy was going off to play cricket.
That will be a good crossing. The water is like glass.
Well, I'll be sick. I usually am. I'd far rather go by air and drop in by parachute. What's the beach like where we land, you know it?
It is a narrow inlet with a small wooden jetty. I guided another Englishman there 3 weeks ago. He was carrying information to the partisan groups.
Did he make it?
He was taken by the Germans soon after he left me. A pity. He was so young.
How long have you been doing this kind of work, Maria?
6 months.
And you, Joseph?
2 years. I started as a liaison between British agents who were sent in from North Africa by air. And a number of partisan groups.
By now, the Germans must know you.
Oh, they know me, but they haven't caught me yet.
Well, just for reference, what are your politics, Joseph?
I worked with the communist groups, but their politics didn't interest me. I just want to see Yugoslavia at peace. And that is why British intelligence can trust me.
What about you, Maria?
My family always supported the royal family. So that must make me a monarchist.
Mm-hmm. Tell me, where do you come from? I mean, where were you born and brought up?
You ask so many questions about me. It is my turn to question you.
At this stage of our assignment, all you'll get from me is name, rank, and number.
Have you got your men in position?
Yes, Major. Can you see them?
No, not one.
Good. That is the way it should be.
It should start to get dark in half an hour. I want this party concluded by then.
The path through the valley winds up from around that hill. Galovic signaled that the leading Germans are less than 200 meters from the bend. Yes, Major. They are carrying Schmeisser machine guns.
The standard equipment. Excellent. Just what we need.
If they walk into our ambush. If not, they can cause many casualties.
War's a gamble, old boy. You Russians are the best chess players, so you should know that. You can't play the game without losses, you know. Oh, Saunders, how did it go?
Well, all the women and children have been escorted onto high ground over there. They'll be well clear of the action. How far away are the SS troopers, sir?
According to our Russian friend, they should be in sight within a few ticks.
That is our signal, Major. You will see the patrol in less than a minute.
I have just received his radio signal from Gorin. His men have made contact with the escapees, and they are staying well to the rear.
Good. What is their position?
Here, on the map. There's a valley leading to a small village called Komasek.
That's 60 kilometers. Elvesa, I think we shall move out and join them in the morning. Tell Gorin to report into operations every hour. There's a social gathering in the officers' mess this evening, and I'm tired already. Still, I think we had best make the most of it before we get on the road.
I think I was have an early night instead, Herr Major.
Just as well, I suppose. One of us should have his wits about him tomorrow. Herding sheep can be a grueling occupation, yeah?
Every man Jack is carrying a machine gun.
Yes, I was telling Dmitri earlier, we can make great use of those Schmeissers. They'll treble our firepower.
Yeah, and make great holes in our force if this little operation goes wrong.
Oh, stop fussing, Saunders. Why do you Americans always get so pessimistic when you don't have an ice cream lorry to follow you around?
I haven't seen ice cream since October 1943.
Yes, that's what I mean. You're lost without it. Well, Dmitri, get that weird bird signal of yours ready. Funny, Saunders, I always thought it was your Red Indians who did things like that. Personally, I find it rather melodramatic. All right, Dmitri, do it now. There you see, a shouted order or a shot would have done the job just as well.
It'll be dark soon.
Yes. You can see the moon.
I was hoping not to see a moon. The Met people said it would be an overcast sky when we land.
To me, a moon means romance, not danger.
And I think you're in the wrong job, Maria.
Wait and see. You will take that back when the time comes to prove it.
Are you eating?
A little later, Joseph.
Make the most of it. Perhaps it will be the last meal in comfort for a long time. These fishing boats, they are so slow. Dropping us from a plane would have been the best.
I asked. Colonel Egan didn't want to risk it. There's quite a lot of Luftwaffe activity in the area.
To make up for a lack of ground troops. My friends tell me that almost every available man is being sent to the east to hold back the Russians.
Except for the Waffen SS, it seems.
One SS trooper is worth 10 ordinary soldiers, and so it is said. They will be put on garrison duty and used later to blunt the Russian thrust.
It is all for nothing. The Germans have lost, but cannot bring themselves to face the truth.
They've been brought up to believe in their own invincibility. Even now, 2 months after D-Day, they still believe they can push the British and American troops out of France. They still call it a bridgehead.
Enough talk of war. It seems as though my whole life has been dominated by it. I'm getting tired, Paul. I want to be just a woman again. I want to forget about politics and begin to think of a home, a family. I don't care who rules, just as long as I can be a real woman again.
I think that we all want an end to it, Maria. It won't be long now. It won't be over by Christmas.
No, I think the Germans will fight on well into next year.
I hope you are wrong, Paul.
Well, about 15 got away. He took off down the valley. I don't reckon it's worth chasing them.
It went well, Saunders. Dmitri, you can tell your men I'm proud of them.
Thank you, Major. Do you want to interrogate the prisoners before we shoot them?
Shoot prisoners? We're not animals, Dmitri. They didn't shoot you when you were taken prisoner.
Only 1 in 5. To teach us total submission. But I was captured by regular soldiers. These are SS. The same men who manned the concentration camps.
I don't care if we've captured Adolf Hitler, Hermann Goering, and that nasty little fellow with the glasses, Heinrich Himmler. We do not shoot prisoners.
Well, what do we do then, Major? Put them on their butts, tell them to walk home and behave themselves in future?
I can do without your sarcasm, Saunders.
Okay, Major, but the question needs answering.
How many are there, Dmitri?
9. And 4 wounded.
Well, let them go.
I think it's crazy.
Perhaps you do. But supplies are short enough without having to feed extra mouths. Besides, if the Germans decide to take reprisals against us, at least they can't accuse us of murder if we get retaken.
You can bet your life they'll take reprisals. After what we've just done, they'll send a whole division to wipe us out.
Let's wait and see, shall we?
So, we let the prisoners go, huh?
Dmitri, is there an officer among them?
2.
I'll bring them here for interrogation. Then we'll camp for the night farther down the valley and let the prisoners go in the morning.
Then I said to these 2 Frenchmen, if you don't know where your army is, why ask me? Lieutenant Fraser, I thought you were having an early night.
I was spoken of by Oberleutnant Walder. He brought me important news. Can I see you alone, Herr Major?
Yes. Oh, excuse me, gentlemen. I'll be back shortly. What is it, Fraser? You've turned as pale as a ghost.
A survivor of Lieutenant Goren's company is called in.
A survivor? Oh, what are you talking about?
They were ambushed and most of them killed.
Partisans?
No, Herr Major. The sheep turned on the shepherd.
And go on.
It's believed he was taken prisoner.
Well, I wouldn't give a pfennig for his life in their hands. Who called in?
Corporal Schmalt. He has another 8 men with him.
Out of 60. Well, Fraser, this is scandalous. I can only conclude that Gorin was careless. So, our sheep have big teeth, eh? Let me see. It's 11 o'clock now. I want you to call out the men. I want to call them on the road by midnight at the latest. While you do that, I shall inform General Gresser of the position. An interview I am not looking forward to.
The captain tells me we're off the inlet now. We're expected at midnight.
Another 5 minutes.
And so much for the weather report. It's a brilliant full moon. An observer on shore could see us for kilometers.
There's nothing to fear at this place. The nearest German is 50 kilometers north of
Look,
here.
a light.
Yes. One long. 3 shorts. 2 longs.
Yes.
That's the correct sequence. So all's well. This is the part of the operation I hate most. It's a sort of feeling of helplessness. Almost as bad as swinging from a descending parachute.
The captain is taking us in.
On the jetty, you will meet the man who flashed the signal. A fisherman called Morosco. He's been doing it for years.
We are turning into the inlet. How clearly you can see the land on either side. There's the jetty. 100 meters on the right.
Here's your bag, Paul.
Thanks.
And yours, Maria. Now I will just go and thank the captain for the ride. Excuse me. Hey, Captain. Maretta.
It's amazing. It is so peaceful. And the moon. Such a beautiful night.
Yes. And that's the way I wanted to stay. Right, let's go.
Right.
Come on, Maria. Take my hand.
No, I'm all right. Joseph! Hurry up, Joseph!
All right, I'm coming.
So, Maria, where's this ancient smuggler you told me about?
I don't know.
It's very odd. It's strange. But please, he should be here.
He could be waiting over there.
Yeah. First rule of survival. Beware of anything unusual. Start walking down the jetty. And when I say so, run to the nearest cover.
But Paul,
Do
what?
as I say. Now, come on and just keep it casual.
Are you not being a little...
Please, we've landed in a trap.
What?
Now get ready to run. As soon as we do, they'll start shooting. Are you ready?
Yes?
Yes, I am.
Now, go! Run! They were waiting for us, Joseph.
I can't understand it. And what happened to Maria? She didn't run when you said.
I don't know. Perhaps she was hit. Well, so much for the nearest German being 50 kilometers away.
These are not Germans. I will bet my life on it, Paul.
You mean the partisans?
I am sure they are. It's difficult to see clearly, but I'll go closer. I can see their figures silhouetted as they search for us around the jetty there.
Be careful. Something I don't understand. Why would they fire on us?
I don't know, but that is what I want to find out. Now stay here. I shall not be long.
Joseph? Joseph!
Maria!
Paul!
Maria, we're here. Joseph, wait.
I was worried about you. And then I heard Joseph's voice.
Yeah, we thought they'd got you on the jetty. Joseph thinks they might be partisans. He's going in
No,
to find...
they're not partisans. They're Germans. I clearly heard them talking.
See. How many?
No more than 10.
They were waiting for us.
Yes, they were.
Betrayed already. What a lovely start to our mission. The
The Vale of Darkness was written by Ron Evans, produced by Yolan Dotman, and directed by Henry Diffenthal.
Springbok 930 dossier, dramatized for broadcasting on Springbok Radio.